Hello, everybody. This is episode 1 of the Alehorn, a podcast about local music here in Asheville, North Carolina. My name is Jason, and my guest today is Micah. And full disclaimer, we are in a band called Temptations Wings, and this podcast will be used for the sole purpose of hopefully earning $1 or $2 from all listeners to fund us during this COVID-19 outbreak and help us record our album and get it pressed to vinyl. So, without further ado, how are you today, Micah?
Doing good.
So, man, I've known you for, 12 years now, but I'm going to ask these questions going back from the beginning for the people listening who might not be familiar with us, which hopefully that's not too many of you, but I have a feeling it'll be a lot of you, just due to the size of our band. So, man, what age did you start getting serious about playing guitar? And, why did you start playing?
I started playing because my dad did. I grew up watching him play banjo in his bluegrass band. And actually, my mom played fiddle in that band, and my granddad played a ukulele and a timpani, something like that, some other kind of little stringed instrument. And I just wanted to play something, and I like guitar music, so that's where I was. And I think I was 13 when my dad got me my first guitar. I had played a little bit before then, but that was when I kind of got serious about it, when I got my own guitar, which I still have.
What kind is it?
It's a Washburn.
Oh, nice. When's the last time you changed the strings on it?
Probably 5 to 8 years ago.
So they were just broke in. All right. So, what age or what made you decide to start looking for bandmates when you wanted to start playing out with other people?
Well, I got the recorder that's actually sitting over here in the corner. I picked that up when I was probably 23, 24, and I started recording things. And it's got a little drum machine on it, so I figured out how to program the drums. And I just started writing songs, and then, I got a handful of them, and I was like, maybe I could find some guys that want to play this stuff and have a band and see what we can do.
Were those the drum tracks that I listened to when I came over and auditioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the drum machine.
That was a good job on that drum machine, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, when you got the first group of guys, was your initial practices pretty productive, or did y'all just, drink and smoke dope? Young men.
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. It was pretty productive. We thought, I was learning how to write songs and learning how to be in a band. And yeah, we drank and we smoked a lot of pot, but we had a good time, and it was pretty productive. We weren't writing great songs, but it was fun.
Why do you think this band's gone through so many bass players?
Because bass players are flaky. I don't know. We've been around pretty long for a local band, and a lot of bands kind of run their course in 3 or 4 years, and that's just kind of the lifespan a lot of people have with wanting to do this stuff. And we've been around, I guess, 12 years now. So we've had
since 07.
Yeah. 07, yep.
Yeah,
So,
well,
13 years
it was
almost.
Late in 07. It was November 07 when I got a hold of you. So, yeah, I was going on 13 this fall, I guess.
Yeah, so it's like normal lifespan of normal bands, but me and Jason just keep doing it because we like it.
Yeah, you got to do it. When you were offered the first show, how ecstatic were you guys, or was there hesitation from anybody?
That was, you offered us our first show with your old band.
Yeah, I didn't want to take all the credit. But.
Yeah, I see where you're going there. So I was ecstatic, and we probably weren't ready. It probably would have been a train wreck, but I was ready to hit the ground and go. Do
you remember where the show was?
Fred's Speakeasy.
Yep. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Cool place.
Awesome place.
I think it's closed down. Someone uses it for a storage basement now for something else.
Oh, man.
I don't know why. But.
Awesome place to play. They let anybody play there. And there was always a crowd down there. So
I remember that band. Now's not a good time to forget. They're from Georgia, Atlanta, Classic. Yeah, I remember they played down there, dude. And it was like, damn, this is fucking cool as shit, man. Like this heavy ass band. They were like Machine Head or good Machine Head era style. But man, they were cool guys. I also saw them in a strip bar on Leicester Highway. My wife at the time, or girlfriend, who's my wife now, thought I was crazy that I was going to a strip club to see a metal band instead of women dancing. But if you had ever been to a strip club before, you would understand that the metal music was way more appealing than the dancers.
absolutely.
We'll just leave it at that. It was pretty seedy. And not in a good way. All right. So when I messaged you on MySpace, did you have any doubts about me considering what happened to the previous lineup busting up? Like as far as like my seriousness or viability?
Well, I mean, you never know what's going to happen when you first start jamming with somebody. But I remember, like when we played the first song, I was like, "Wow, this guy's on a different level than the last guy was." You know, sorry, dude, if you happen to be listening, but
we'll keep him nameless because I know him as well.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of me anymore, but that's okay.
That's okay. I never was a big fan of him anyway. His singing or his drumming. Hate to get negative, but
and the fact that he would drink a case of beer at practice, literally a case, 24 beers at practice.
Oh, that's impressive. I mean, for a 3-hour session, that's pretty impressive.
It was impressive, but yeah, it was a wreck too.
He use the bathroom mid-song sometimes.
I think he he did have to go a lot. I was going to say I think he went in his pants a few times, but no, he.
That's
really
what adult diapers are for.
He really.
I've actually heard of people at festivals and stuff. They'll wear adult diapers to the festival and like go up front, and that way they never have to leave their spot on the barrier or whatever, and they just soak themselves in piss.
Well, that's
all day. So I hate to be around that dude. That's about 9 o'clock at night. You know.
That's an interesting strategy there. I don't know if I would do that.
I heard it was Richard Christie from the drummer for Iced Earth and Charred Walls on Howard Stern.
Yeah,
he was. I heard him talking about it.
He's probably done it.
He's a pretty interesting dude. He lived in a storage shed in Florida. Like, could you imagine how miserable that would be? A storage shed in Florida. He was like playing with Iced Earth because he was broke. I guess they all were.
It'd be like 114 in there.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man. Was your first show with me the first time we ever played live?
No, it wasn't. We did a couple shows in the band I was in high school. We played at the school a few times.
How was the PA set up in the school? Pretty good.
We rented it from musicians. No, what was the name of that place? Dunham's. We rented it from Dunham's.
Oh, that's where our first drum set from.
Yeah,
layaway.
That's where I got my first electric guitar from.
Yeah.
But you pay them a little bit, and they would come set up a sound system. And one of the guys knew the guy that did it, so we got a little bit of a discount.
The acoustics in that place pretty good?
Well, it was in the gym, so it was like
the gym. I thought it was in the auditorium.
It was like a massive reverb tank.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I imagine it was pretty awful. I remember when we had to go to pep rallies by force, of course, because I didn't care. But all the clapping and bleacher stomping. It's like, man, it sounds like a big mess. I can't even tell what's going on after a while. It just sounds like a big noise.
That's pretty much how it was. We had some recordings of it. I wish I still had them. They were on tapes, and there's no telling where those tapes went. Or
you'd be surprised, man. They might turn up. I still find stuff that we recorded a long time ago, before I had vocals or anything on it. Like our first demo we recorded when I just like played the drums and we just piled everything on top, and it didn't turn out too bad for what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't let anybody listen to it now. The songs, the playing, and the quality. I mean, we've gotten a lot better, but I mean, for what it was, it wasn't terrible. I think we actually sold 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, we were excited about it at the time. Yeah.
Over at Crystal's and what they call it, Dungeon or something.
Yeah.
Like Oregon Layers, we called it.
Yeah, email those to me when you get a chance.
I'll dig them up again.
I would love to cringe at myself.
They're on my desk, and my desk is covered up with other junk. I need to go through it. It's a long process with a baby.
Yeah.
You can't throw nothing away because she pulls out the trash can and throws it on the floor, so it's like you're picking it up twice. It's like,
Yeah, just leave it on the table.
Yeah, really. So, before we get to the first show, the Orange Peel, we played, any other notable shows you can remember? Or was that the first notable one when we played the local band showcase?
I'm trying to remember if we played with any bands that really knocked our socks off, you know. I really can't remember one that stands out beside the first one.
At the club.
Yeah.
That guy's a douche, man.
Yeah. What a douche. But that's the one that the very next one that stands out to me is our first show at the Orange Peel.
Yeah. I think I remember most about that is I had to use somebody else's drum set. I remember just beating the living shit out of it. Because I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, that's what the rules are. And I'm not holding back. So
we didn't really hit it off with those guys anyways.
Yeah, actually, neither one of them were around. I think we're probably one of the longest tenured bands here in town. I think maybe Mind Shaped Fist, as far as metal bands go, might be the longest one besides us. But because they were around when I was in my previous band too, so they've been at it for quite a while.
Oh, speaking of Mind Shaped Fist, there was that Battle of the Bands we got into. And that was the first time I had played on like a real stage. The stage was about chest high. And now that you mentioned Mind Shaped Fist, since they were there, that makes me remember that one. That was fun.
Was that the one out there by the airport?
Yeah.
In that like hangar or like warehouse or whatever.
Kind of warehouse place. Yeah.
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
So when we got offered the show for Iced Earth, were you like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Were you like, holy shit?
At first I was like, he's got to be messing with me, you know, like, Iced Earth, come on. Yeah, whatever. Now, I think I remember typing like, yeah, really? You know, whatever, you know, something like that. And you're like, no, seriously, you sent me the email. And I was like, holy shit. Iced Earth, like, how do we even go about opening, you know, what do we do? Like, hey, what, yeah, who, what? You know, it was kind of like frantic, you know, like, whoa, I can't believe this. You know, like we're actually getting a little bit of traction here, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I remember I got the email, and we had just planned a vacation for, like, the Sunday that was going on. And I had to tell my wife, I was like, yeah, we're going to move this vacation around.
I have to
why?
leave
I was
late.
like, yeah, you just don't understand. I showed her a video of them at, like, some Vakken, like, 2011 or 10 or something like that. And she was like, okay, I see. It's like, yeah, we gotta do this.
Yeah. And of course they were completely on a different level from us, you know.
Dude, I remember we had our own dressing room, like the one on the far right side. And we were like, yeah, man, this is cool. And like we had our own beer fridge full of like PBR and whatnot. And I remember at the end of the night, like, you know, I was going back after we were done playing and they were playing. I went back to get a beer and the fridge was like wiped out. And like all our shit was outside the door and they just like commandeered like everything back there. And it's like, man, I was like, you just see how unimportant you are sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
we're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we understand. You know,
yeah.
I remember walking in to the dressing room. There's a large dressing room and a smaller one. And I remember walking into the smaller one because we're like, you know, of course we're going to give them the bigger one since they got roadies and, you know. So I walk in and and there's this poor roadie sitting there and nothing but his boxers, like, sprawled out on the couch, like, dead asleep. And I just happened to barge in on him. I was like, he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry, dude. He's like, oh, yeah, I think I got a beer and left. That was pretty awkward.
Yeah, it's always awkward when someone's on the couch asleep and you're just like talking and having a good time. It's like, whoops. What do you think the coolest thing that we've done so far is up to recording this podcast?
Yeah, this is going to top everything, I think. Huh. Oh, that was a bad attempt at a joke.
Oh, the podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah. Hey, man, you never know. Makes you a millionaire.
Yeah, maybe so. My favorite thing that we've done up to date is the tour last year. I mean, it was hard living for a few days, but it was fun. And, you know, we were all wiped out by the time we got to Doomfest. We for everybody that doesn't know us, we were lucky enough to play Maryland Doomfest last year. And we toured our way up there. And so we probably collectively slept like everybody, you know, maybe got 4 to 6 hours of sleep the whole weekend. And so we were wiped out by the time we got to Doomfest. But that was awesome. It was just a lot of fun just to get out and take a vacation and play some music.
Yeah, hopefully we do that again next year. 'Cause this year looks like a wash. And even if it does clear up soon, all the rescheduled tours and everything, it's going to be hard to get any dates anywhere right now. So
Yeah.
I'm just chalking this one up as a loss and just working on our album.
Yeah.
Maybe a one-off show might come up in the summer, but
Yeah.
it's a lost cause right now, I do believe.
It's a wash. 2020 is a wash until maybe later in the year, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm thinking July or August, probably starting back to normalcy, but by then it'll be too late. Everything's already booked up for September onward. You just look at the Orange Peel's rescheduled dates; they're already like in December. From like
Oh,
May.
man.
They're supposed to happen in like March and April.
Yeah.
May. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I saw Black Label was scheduled for October now.
October.
Yeah, rescheduled.
Like I said, fall touring season, man. It's gonna be crazier than ever.
Yeah.
So when we brought Chad in, or as I say, when we fired Chad from bass and hired him for guitar, like, how did that like change your outlook on guitar playing? Is it like, do you write just for guitar harmonies now, or are you just more like just rhythm or just riffs instead of just being like the meat of the song anymore? Now you gotta share. Now you're like a double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Of the song.
It's
Top patty, of course.
Yeah, top patty, of course. Well, Chad he's taken on a bigger chunk of the songwriting, which I was a little hesitant to give up at first, but Chad has taken over some of that, and I love the stuff he comes up with. So as time has moved on, I've gotten less kind of possessive over what riff goes where and whatnot, because Chad comes up with so much good stuff. But as far as any kind of lead playing, I lean mainly toward laying down some kind of bottom end of a harmony now, because that's always something I wanted to do, was guitar harmonies in this band, and finally getting able to do it is really awesome. So I've geared myself, and you know, I still do a few leads, but I geared myself more towards rhythm and just kind of like the low end of the harmony now.
Yeah, I've noticed the band's definitely took a little bit of a turn from what it used to be. I mean, it used to be just meat and potatoes. Like, it's just like, well, because it was a 3-piece band, so it was just like guitar's going to play this, and bass is going to do this, and drums are going to do this. But now with Chad adding so much texture and stuff, it's like, you know, sometimes I'm just like, I don't think there should be any drums in this song, because this guitar work is just so awesome. It's like, why even put anything underneath it?
Yeah,
just leave it.
I know. Sometimes I struggle with vocals like that too. Like, man, I don't want to screw this song up because it's so awesome.
Yeah, of course, when Ryan was playing with Chad in his previous band, I mean, they got that familiar, you know, yin and yang with each other.
Yeah.
On like Ryan knows kind of what Chad's going to want, and
Yeah.
Chad definitely knows what Ryan can do.
Yeah.
So they kind of like worked that. So it's actually turned out pretty cool. And I think this next album, people are going to be like, damn, that's the same band that recorded this Skullthor album.
Right.
Even The Path, which The Path is a pretty good appetizer for what's to come. It's like there's just meaty riffs, like good riffs, and then there's like some pretty out there stuff on like Dimensions, and we're kind of like in between that on this new album.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, man. Anything else you want to add before we get to the lightning round?
No, just mainly, I'm excited about what we can do with this podcast. I think it could be really cool. And all we're asking is we're using it basically as like a tip jar for the band. and we're using it to fund our band, basically. So, if you want to throw $1 in the Patreon pile, that would be totally awesome. And it will be used for this band to get the shows, get the recording, merch. Anything that we get off of this will be funneled directly into the band.
Yeah, the Patreon tiers all have different perks. So $1, you get this, and then a week early before it goes on YouTube, and an exclusive podcast that doesn't go on YouTube. And then for $2, you get some discount on our physical merch. And $5, I think we're gonna do some playthrough videos of different songs, like riffs and stuff like that. So it's all being worked out, but we're keeping it low because everyone can throw $1 or $2 our way, but not everybody can afford $5 and $10. Some of them get to $50. I actually think I've seen one for like $200. It's like, who the hell would $200 for a Patreon? But it was like, yeah, you get a free meet and greet if I ever come to your town. It's like, that sounds pretty stupid, but
for $200 a month, I'll buy you dinner and beers all you want.
FYI, there's always free meet and greet at our shows. All you gotta do is just come to the merch table because the venues are usually pretty fucking tiny.
Yes.
So, all right, man, let's do this lightning round. So
okay.
This is a random assortment of pop culture, music, stuff like that.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy all these because they're all pretty damn good. Okay, let's go. LaForge or Scotty?
I'm a Next Generation fan. I gotta go LaForge.
All right. Tasha Yar or Wesley Crusher?
Oh, jeez, that's awful. I really hate Yar too. As much as I hate Crusher, I gotta go with him.
Crusher. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Opeth or Mastodon?
Opeth.
All right. WCW, WWF.
WWF.
That's right. No WWE shit, just WWF.
Right.
Yeah.
Old school.
10-arm Def Leppard or 9-arm Def Leppard?
Gotta go 10 arms because, by the time they were 9 arms, they were kind of sucking already, in my opinion.
They're sucking with 10 arms too, but after Pyromania, it's that band for me. Borg or Klingon?
Klingon.
All right. Justice or Rust in Peace?
Oh, man, I love both of them. I got to go with Justice just because that album kind of raised me.
That's a tough decision.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the Rust in Peace camp myself. But. Dagobah or Hoth?
Hoth. I mean, there's nothing more iconic than that Frost Planet battle, you know?
Episode 2 or Episode 8?
Oh, God. 2 is actually my favorite of the first trilogy, so I got to go 2.
Oh, that's pretty rare. You don't hear people say that much.
I know.
All right. Flying V or Les Paul?
Got to go Flying V. I miss my V. I do. I will have one soon.
Holodeck or Food Replicator?
Food Replicator. I mean, Holodeck would be awesome too, but I gotta go Food Replicator. I mean, boom, you got your food.
I was always thinking the Holodeck, like we could take our band on a starship, and then we could just put a holodeck in with like a crowd of like 1 million people and just play.
Play.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Let's see, bucket list band that's still active.
ZZ Top.
Bass player or drummer jokes?
Bass player. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Best fictional band, Death Clock or Josie and the Pussycats?
Death Clock. Oh, easy. That was some low-hanging fruit right there.
I just want to incorporate Josie and the Pussycats to a podcast. So that's a bucket list item for me.
Oh, nice. You scratched that one off the list.
All right. Well, that is it for episode 1. So there's an interview coming up where Micah interviews me. We're going to interview Chad. And then if we can get Ryan to speak one day, we'll interview him. So we're going to have like profiles for all members of the band talking about what they're thinking, what they think now, and what they did in the past, like how they got into music, that kind of stuff. So, so if you like this podcast and you like and you're listening in the future, check out all the other episodes. Just throw us a buck, and we can guarantee you that at least we're asking for money, but at least we're trying to earn it with an actual product. So it's not like a GoFundMe. I mean, we're actually doing this to we're doing this to get your money, but at least it's an honest living, as they say.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Yeah, just $1 or $2 or maybe $5 if you can afford it. We appreciate any amount. So until then, thanks a lot.